What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about an update that accidentally went live a little too early, some free blueprints, and some secret changes. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because we're very close to 100,000 subscribers here on the main channel. Really appreciate it. Also drop a like and turn notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, Warzone Mobile, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Cannot believe how close we are to 100K. Really means the world to me. It's a dream come true, and I got plenty of content on deck for you guys over the course of this weekend, and I also hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Now, the update to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 last night did bring about several changes, as I covered in my video this morning talking about update 1.11 and all the patch notes. That'll be linked down below, but there's a change that nobody out there has really talked about too much. I know Charlie Intel did, but the update did change the main menu to just a Call of Duty logo, and the Battle Pass and Store tabs are also accessible from the initial menu without having to go into a specific game, which further solidifies that this is Call of Duty HQ. Although it's opened up through the Modern Warfare 2 application, you're accessing COD HQ, which is kind of just its own hub, which will always be the center of attention for all things Call of Duty going forward, every current and active game. So if there's a game next year, you'll see that at this menu. If there's a Black Ops game in 2024, you'll also see that at this menu, and those are all going to be separate individual entities, just like Modern Warfare 2 is from Warzone 2. They have new technology to ensure that we don't have the same issue as MWII, where every time that game got an update, Warzone broke. Every time Cold War got an update, MWII broke. Those games weren't built with integrations in mind, but going forward, integrations are in mind, and you can always optionally uninstall any of the games you don't want in your COD HQ application. But before we continue with some other crazy updates for the game, let's go and thank the sponsor of today's video. Now, tonight's video is sponsored by Mech Arena, an amazing free-to-play shooter game available on mobile. Now, right now is a really exciting time to play Mech Arena since there's two new pilots based on Neymar Jr. The first one, called Neymar Jr., is available for free. All you have to do is play on 7 different days between now and December 18th. The other pilot, named MVP Neymar Jr., is also free. You can earn them from the Derby event that's happening right now in-game. Both these pilots are the most powerful in the game itself, with the best damage and speed boost for your mechs that no other pilot can provide. Now, this month is also huge for Mech Arena. Mech Arena is finally available on PC, and you can enjoy full cross-platform experiences. Those who check out Mech Arena on PC can enjoy high performance, benefit from a bigger screen, customize their controls, and much more. Now, if that's not enough, you can install Mech Arena on mobile and PC using my personalized link in this video's description or the QR code on screen to get a free starter pack worth $15. You'll get an amateur crate, 300 A coins, and a pulse cannon 4 to help kickstart your game. Now, if you're quick, you can also add me to your friends list in Mech Arena so we can play some matches together. But thank you to Mech Arena for sponsoring tonight's video. Now back to the video. Unexpectedly today, the Support a Team event did go live in Modern Warfare 2 and even Warzone 2. You can predict the team to win different FIFA World Cup matches, and if you predict correctly, you'll get free blueprints. So as you guys can see, we got a first look at what the blueprints do look like, and it is confirmed that you will get the blueprints at the very end of the event in the next couple of weeks. We have a nice blue, yellow, greenish skin. We then have one that's orange, red, and gray. Looks really damn sick. If you predict 2 matches, you'll get the first one. If you predict 4 of them, you'll get that second one. So it's not guaranteed that everybody out there will get these. Maybe they'll give them all out for free anyway in the future, but for now, these are the only ways to get these blueprints. But the weird thing about this is that the event went live for like 15 minutes, then all of a sudden it just got removed. Some people out there were claiming that they never saw the event in their game to begin with, so it looks like they were testing things out today. They didn't mean for this event to go live, but it did, and it's not been removed. So I'm gonna assume we'll probably end up seeing this added in next week when some of these FIFA matches do start. And that's also probably tied to whenever they're going to start marketing the COD Ball LTM, which we know a little bit about thanks to leaks and gameplay that surfaced early online. But I am assuming marketing surrounding this World Cup crossover event will end up coming out no later than next week. Even though the event's kind of already started through the limited time bundles. We had the Neymar Jr. one come out a couple of days ago. We have Pogba coming out on the 25th, and then Messi coming out on the 28th. Now, we'll talk more about the mid-season update in a separate video, but today we also got the release of the free PlayStation Plus Combat Pack for Modern Warfare 2 and even Warzone 2. Again, there's no way right now for Xbox and PC to get their hands on any of this content. There is a Oni Revenger weapon blueprint, a sticker calling card, a tactical operator skin for Oni, an Oracle weapon blueprint, a charm, and even an emblem. Some players out there were reporting that this pack wasn't loading into their game. Although they downloaded it, they couldn't actually see any of the content that was live. At the time of posting this video, that's probably been fixed, but if it hasn't, then I'd say no later by this week, we'll end up seeing a fix for this this free pack. Obviously, devs are going away on vacation, so you might see a delay with some of the marketing from now until maybe Monday, but as of right now, this is the free pack, and again, the only way to get your hands on the Oni operator is by playing on PlayStation. Starting next year, I think it's the final week of October of 2023 is when Oni will be released for Xbox and even PC. But as I always say, I'd rather have combat packs come out that are exclusive to PlayStation instead of seeing survival or another really cool experience locked behind PS4 and PS5. This is still the best plan of action, even though I get it, it's a bit hypocritical. Sony was upset about the whole Microsoft acquisition of Call of Duty, feeling like it's threatening their ability to have Call of Duty on PlayStation, even though what they're doing right now is quite literally what they're threatening Microsoft is going to do, which is locking content behind a certain platform. We then got several secret changes with update 1.11, which you guys probably didn't notice, but if you did, I'm sure you'll have some feelings about some of these changes down below in the comments. First off, new weapon levels and even attachments. So even if you had certain weapons maxed out, this new update brought forth some very interesting changes, which might have actually brought you down a couple of levels with a couple of these weapons. Starting off with the SPX80, you might have went down a level because now you can unlock the DMR Precision stock. You only need one more level to get that one. The MCPR 300, you can now get the FSS Merc stock with going up one more level. With the EBR, you can get an FSS Spider rear grip. With the Bryson shotgun, you can get a new muzzle. With the Hurricane, the X10 black muzzle. With the SO14, you can also get a model stock. So it looks like some of these weapons got brought down a couple of levels or two, and by finishing out these weapons again, you'll get that extra attachment, which for some reason wasn't there at launch. But other players out there are reporting on the fact that they had other weapons which they noticed got brought down a couple of levels with other attachments being added to them. So it looks like this is an update that's varying from person to person. Not sure what happened with this. It might have been a mistake, and maybe there is some big weapon update planned for the mid-season update, which was supposed to introduce new attachments and was supposed to adjust some of the weapon levels, but it went live a little bit early. This wasn't mentioned at all in the patch notes last night, so something's a bit off with the communication right now in terms of some of these changes. But moving on from that, we also have some huge UI improvement to the camo system. So now you can press triangle to show unlocked camos and use R1 and L1 to navigate to the groups. This was mentioned in the patch notes, but I feel like it didn't do it justice reading off the patch notes. I really wanted to show you actually what this looks like in game. But like I've always mentioned, right, there's so much innovation with Modern Warfare 2 alone, but the UI being offered for the game doesn't really let all the innovation shine that much. The UI is a bit clunky, it's a bit complicated, and having to go through several different menus, clicking different buttons just to get to one thing, that's frustrating certain people. Even though we've had complicated UIs before, I think Warzone 1 and MW19 had a pretty simplistic UI that was navigated pretty simply, and for some reason Modern Warfare 2 really complicated things, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that a designer from Hulu is the one that designed everything we know about the UI and UX for COD 2.0, and it was said that improvements are coming to the UI, but I wouldn't necessarily say that's an overhaul. I know that was rumored by Ralph's Valve, who has been right about certain things in the past, not so much as of lately, so I would take that with a grain of salt. But other than that, there's also a new streak notification that was added to multiplayer. So every time somebody calls in a kill streak, you'll get a big pop-up on screen as to what that is, and that's awesome. I mean, I'm also hoping that they end up acknowledging the fact that we don't have a little counter at the bottom of your screen anymore when you're on a high streak. It'll usually tell you when you're on your 12th kill, your 15th kill, your 20th. That was in MW19, and it was in MW2's beta, but got removed. And I'm just going to safely assume that maybe a gun screen is going to be released at some point that will tell you what streak you're actually on. Maybe that's why they removed that, because they want to make sure that there's some traffic towards that new gun screen cosmetic. But we'll have to wait and see how that works. I know customization is pretty interesting with Modern Warfare 2, and they're really changing the way that certain things work and the way certain things are presented. So that's what I'll say right now about streaks. But also when it comes to private matches, they have fixed a bug that allowed people to use unreleased blueprints, weapons like the Chimera, calling cards, other cosmetics that you weren't supposed to see yet. I mean, there was a lot that leaked out because of a private match glitch, and I mean, we usually see private match glitches with every Call of Duty, but Modern Warfare 2 had a fairly big one, allowing you to see content that I don't think was even going to release in Season 1, but content that we're probably going to get months from now. They fixed that issue, so now you can't actually access stuff like that anymore, but I wouldn't be surprised if a future title update accidentally brings a bug like that back into the game, because we usually see that from time to time with every other season. Now, also a big update that people out there are a bit upset about, it's regarding DMZ. So people out there had a certain strategy with killing the chemist in a radiation zone to get their hands on the M13 blueprint. If you expo with that blueprint, it would auto unlock the base version of that assault rifle. When I made my guide for the chemist, I never mentioned the strat of just running him over with a car, or maybe maybe I did slightly, but I didn't say that was the primary strategy to do it. I had other methods of going ahead and killing them, but people out there were just using a car to run them over and quickly exfilling with the blueprint. Sure, that worked for a period of time, but now there's a DDoS element in the radiation zone, which means you actually can't drive cars into the zone. So that strat is completely useless at this point. So with that being said, I know that's probably frustrating for those out there that wanted to go ahead and just quickly kill the chemist, but they want to make sure there's a level of challenge to actually killing him without just quickly running him over in 2 seconds and being done with it. So I'm sure there'll be some glitches, exploits, or just strategies that get kept in DMZ long term, but I think when it comes to this one in particular, they felt like that was a bit too easy for the general public and had to do something about it with the recent title update. Now, it's also been said that level 3 faction missions have been fixed. I wasn't aware they were even broken to begin with, but I've been grinding them quite a bit. I have a special video about faction missions coming up in the next couple of days. So apparently some of the missions were just bugged out. There wasn't any progression for some of them. That's luckily been fixed, but for some reason it wasn't mentioned in the patch notes either, even though it's a pretty big change to a mode that is not only free to play, but is gaining lots and lots of traffic, considering it's the first extraction-like mode for Call of Duty, or the first extraction mode for COD 2.0. I know Extinction was kind of the first extraction back during COD Ghost, but it's a big mode, and I just hope communication gets clearer and clearer with every future update, because we don't want to relive the same situation we saw in MWII where patch notes would come out and it wasn't just 1 or 2 things that were left out of the patch notes. It was a list, if not more, of things that got stealth fixed, and we had content creators making full-length videos talking about those updates. So I guess that's good content for creators, but we need better communication, especially considering other studios have had better communication. Obviously, every studio makes mistakes sometimes, but hopefully this is something that isn't a reoccurring problem throughout the rest of MW2's life cycle. But last and definitely not least, we also have the first pro pack, which went live earlier this evening, the Desert Road pack for $20. Does feature an operator skin, 2 weapon blueprints, a charm, a sticker, and even an animated emblem. All pro packs always come with COD points that kind of reimburse you, so you get $40 of value for the price of 20. You pay 20 actual dollars, but you get 2,400 COD points back. This isn't the best pro pack. I know some other pro packs from Cold War and Vanguard did have ultra skins, really cool reactive blueprints, other content. I'm sure bundles will get better over the course of this year for Modern Warfare 2. As of right now, I wouldn't expect anything too crazy in terms of bundles for Season 1, but for those wondering if we're going to get gifting or even a support a creator option in the Modern Warfare 2 shop, I'm sure those things are going to be added maybe during the mid-season update or early next season. I know Vanguard was a bit iffy where you were able to support a creator, but you weren't able to gift. Warzone 1 MW19 had a gifting option, and Cold War just had it downright all the way, but we'll have to wait and see what Modern Warfare 2 ends up doing with the shop in the future. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the update that actually went live a bit early, previewing some new blueprints? How are you feeling about the secret changes from update 1.11? And also your thoughts on the other combat packs and other cosmetics that we discussed. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.